the country needed to be pulled out of the Depression. There was concern that as bad as it was going to get worse. And FDR stepped in with an extraordinary spate of policymaking that this country has not seen since. But we also saw that it came at a price. In order to get much of it passed, the president had to make sure that he did not upset a huge constituency, which were these Southern segregationists. And in doing so, essentially created a two-tiered recovery.
It's very hard for people now to understand how absolutely routine the worst virulent kind of racism was. This was a Jim Crow country. Washington, D.C. was a Jim Crow city.
New Deal dollars didn't ever flow in to black communities in the way it did into white communities, so you had less infrastructure supported, less buildings built.
The challenge now is that African Americans, seeing these pieces of legislation, seeing this New Deal get built and rolled out, time after time, there are barriers being constructed so that they can't actually take part in some of these programs. And that leads to a tremendous amount of anger and frustration.
Robert Weaver, who is in the Black Cabinet, said, as long as you leave a portion of Americans behind economically, you'll never have a stable economy.
African Americans got little, if anything, that the president had promised through these programs formally. The challenges with Social Security, the exclusion of certain industries from some of these programs, these industries that largely employed African Americans. The GI Bill that did not include African Americans in their ability to go back to school, which even when they did get funding to go back to school, most of the schools they wanted to go to did not allow African Americans to attend.
The New Deal enacted housing policies to try to help the construction industry, to help Americans get mortgages and recovering from the Depression. But these policies included what is known as redlining, distinguishing where mortgages could be insured.
And they identified black communities as high-risk area for loans, which meant black families couldn't get loans.
So while the recovery was went according to plan, if you were a white voter, for an African American in this country, what you were experiencing were the seeds of the wealth disparity that we see even to this day.